Okay, everybody, this is gonna be like a little quick preview, but David Onama and Steve Garcia fight night, the official preview is going to be short. It's not going to be the typical preview, but just a quick little update. As y'all know, I got something going on personally, so I'm trying to take care of that as the best way I can for the next 2 months, actually, which is why, I said in my video last week, I really don't expect to drop major content to like January-ish, but I'm still drop some cool shit here and there next, other than the main shit like the 322 previews and the countdown thoughts and shit like that. I'm still gonna drop some cool shit. As a matter of fact, next week, because my schedule is a little bit more clear next week, I'm gonna drop some fun content for y'all. But just a little quick update. But this weekend's fight card, and even next week, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too in this video. This week's fight night card and next week's fight night card, it seemed like, and I've seen a couple people, they drop their little posts or whatever, would you rather have no fight weeks, kind of like a bye week, or just like mid UFC cards like here and there? Honestly, and then these two fight night cards this weekend and next week, now next week is a little bit better, but to be quite honest, these two fight night cards leading into 322 is not all that good. But at the same time, niggas like me who watch MMA for a very, very long time, week in and week out, y'all know these be one of the cards that produce the best fights of the year. Like, let's be real. How many times have we gone into a fight night where on paper it don't even look that good? Like, half the time niggas don't even know who's fighting the main event, and it turns out from top to bottom the fight night card be a fucking banger throughout the whole night, for real. So these are one of these cards to me. Now I'm hoping they continue on the trend of, the shit not looking good on paper, but it turns out to be one of the best fight cards of the year. So I'm hoping that trend, continues on, because this fight night card right here, these next two fight night cards, they ain't looking too good, to be quite honest. I'll be shocked if I see like a lot of people making content on these fight night cards. But I'm gonna continue to preview them and review what I see and shit like that. And this is one of these cards where I'm gonna just talk about the main event. Also, y'all know, for my main subscribers that been listening to me for a long time, for a year and a half since I started this shit, as soon as I get everything cleared, like I said, with the content, we're gonna start doing more like one championship stuff and do some PFL on the side, but mainly one championship. But anyway, on to the fight this weekend with David Onama and Steve Garcia. This right here, honestly, I'm a little bit more invested in this fight than originally, and also probably more than others, just because of the fact, so this is featherweight. David Onama. Now, Steve Garcia, I seen him like on and off. I really don't know him too much, like all that well, but I have seen some stuff from in the past. But David Onama, I've been keeping up with him, and honestly, he's one of those where I do feel like, now I don't know if he can become champion featherweight, but if he keep on improving with each fight, he could be a solid, like, what's a good fighter? I wouldn't say Neil Magny. What's a good guy? Because he can low-key be a journeyman, but he could be a little bit better than, I guess you could say like somebody like Dan Hooker, maybe. Like, Dan Hooker is low key like a journeyman, but he also fights better than a typical journeyman. So kind of along that lines. But David Onama, he's good. He's good. I fuck with his fighting style. Between him and Steve Garcia, I think Steve Garcia has more power than David Onama, but David Onama has cleaner striking. Excuse me. He has the better technical and the cleanest striking out of the two. Steve Garcia is more like low key to me, like a John Lineker type striker. David Onama, he's I mean, he can brawl with the best of them, but he's more like a sniper, you know, like kind of like a Sean O'Malley to a certain extent. So this fight is very interesting stylistically and on, you know, big picture scale wise, because these niggas, and I just made the rankings video, these niggas is right next to each other at featherweight, and now they fighting each other. So really, this is a fight where it's kind of jockeying position to get closer to get inside the top 10, because featherweight is loaded. Featherweight is loaded, but also it's a lot of inconsistencies. So if one of these niggas win this weekend, they could position themselves off consistency to not only get inside the top 10, but potentially get a high caliber fight as far as ranking goes. And you know, they win that, they on their way for it. But I'm taking the David Onama. I do feel like grappling wise, he's better than Steve Garcia. And striking, he's just a better striker than Garcia. And also, now, both of these niggas can get clipped, which I'm very interested to see who survives whose power punch. Because both of these niggas really ain't got a durable chin. David Onama, he can get rocked. Now, he don't get dropped a lot like Steve Garcia, but he can get rocked. And Steve Garcia, Lord Jesus, it's kind of like Steve Garcia got the chin of like, what's a bad, like, almost, it's not on the level, but it's almost the level of Lou Rocco. Like, every time you damn near touch this nigga chin, he's getting dropped, you know. But he got hard though. He got hard. But overall, I'm taking David Onama. I just feel like he's the better overall fighter. Unless, you know, Steve Garcia, he just he baits David Onama into like in the pocket brawling out type striking match. And, you know, Garcia with his power, I wouldn't be surprised if he do bait David Onama, that he's able to put David away with his power. But David is better overall fighter. So I'm picking David. But other than that, you know, this fight card is kind of meh on paper, but these be the fight cards that, like I said, turn out to be one of the best cards. And also, Tom Aspinall's teammate is on this card. He's fighting the co-main event with Waldo Cortez Acosta. That's an interesting fight too. Just the fact of, you know, the shit that's going on with Tom Aspinall. If his teammate can, you know, keep on fighting through the rankings, we don't know what's gonna happen with that, you know, with that situation. Because Tom on some bullshit talking about he basically on that shit with Aljo, like, and that's one of my pet peeves. Like, come on now. Like, this, I understand that everybody, you know, build a friendship or brotherhood with these camps and all your sparring partners, but at the end of the day, this is still a business. Like, you can be friends outside the octagon and still handle business inside the octagon. But that's a different topic for a different day. I think one other fight is on the card too. I was surprised. I think Kellen Vieira is on this card. I really haven't looked at the whole. I looked at the whole card, but I didn't look at the prelims, because I usually, even though I don't talk about the prelims, I usually look at the prelims anyway. I think Kellen Vieira fight is on the prelims. Honestly, that fight should be on the main card. If she's on the prelims, because I did see something about Ketlen Vieira. If she's on the prelims, that should have been on the main card, let's be honest. But anyway, this was a quick one. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So until my review, I'll holler at y'all niggas later, man.